This program contains movie spoilers. Viewers are advised to proceed on their own discretion.
Before we begin the review for the 2020 Disney's reimagination of Black Beauty, let me recollect a very funny quote by the incredible funny guy character of Chandler Bing from the popular TV show Friends. When asked why does he not cry when Bambi's mother died, he answers,
Bambi is a cartoon.
You didn't cry when Bambi's mother died?
Yes, it was very sad when the guy stopped drawing the deer.
I cannot fully agree to Chandler Bing. Animals do have feelings too, and I feel compassion towards animals. Animals' cruelty simply illustrates how diabolical we as human beings can be. The 2020 Black Beauty is a long elucidation of exactly that. Humans try to tame the nature and the nature takes its own course. If we can gallop together with nature, only then our true spirit can manifest. Otherwise, we simply are demons. Welcome to I Like to Movie It. Let's review the 2020 live action version of Black Beauty.
You really are beautiful. That's what I'll call you. Black Beauty.
Black Beauty is a movie packaged like a memoir. From the point of view of a wild Mustang horse, a female horse or a mare, whichever one you prefer, who is God voiced by the talented Kate Winslet. This memoir starts from the point this Mustang mare is born, and as you have guessed it, it ends when she flies away into the beds in the stars. In this unwritten journal of her life, this Mustang, preferably called Black Beauty, goes from being a wild horse to a tame one, from a fierce Mustang spirit to a kind-hearted animal companion, and suffers her entire life just to relieve her moments in the ranch with a human friend, Joe, played by McKenzie Foy. Before we shred the thin lines of how the movie is, hear this. Using animals to tell stories is a very, very tricky affair. A lot of movies have been made in the past and only a few come out strong. Don't get me wrong. Using anthropomorphic characters is an entirely other experiment altogether. Animated or live action movies that have animals that talk or walk are essentially human substitutes to make things more interesting. One cannot say that Dory from Finding Nemo is just a fish or Mickey Mouse isn't a mouse. Po from Kung Fu Panda is actually a panda doing kung fu, or even Ted isn't essentially human. They all are human substitutes. But that's not the case here. Black Beauty, the character, is driven through a God voice and has no anthropomorphic traits except for some gaze or stares here and there. This feature right here, the personality given to horse, essentially detached me as a viewer. We are naturally wired to feel more compassionate to characters that we can connect to, relate to. But looking at a horse galloping, trotting, or even walking by does not actually make you feel like you have connected wholly to the protagonist herself. This is a big flaw of this movie. We have to keep an ear out to listen to what Kate Winslet is saying. Otherwise, we miss the whole point of the scene. A film's grammar, even from the silent era, dictates that the visual element has to make more sense than the sound itself. That's why they call it the visual narrative. But I felt it would be a good choice if we were given to listen to this drama over the radio rather than choosing a God voice for narration throughout the entire movie, and it was a very bad choice made by the director Ashley Avis. Now, leaving the horse aside, let's come to McKenzie Foy's Joe character, who I would like to call the second protagonist of the story. Joe's character arc is fully developed, and the change and maturity that comes in a human being within the span of a horse's lifetime is well illustrated. I particularly like the fact that Joe's character connects to her human counterparts and surroundings more than her horse, which is highly commendable since that is what most of us do. But sadly, it's McKenzie Foy's lackluster acting that gets in the way. She is what Kristen Stewart was in the Twilight movie series, lacking basic human emotions with plastic reactions and bland expression spectrum. She could have salvaged the movie with her rooted human sentiments and arching character shifts, but she was unimpressive. Secondary actors, however, were on point. Ian Glenn as Uncle John and Hakeem kae-kazim as Terry were exciting characters, along with antagonist Claire Forlani's Mrs. Winthrop and her daughter Georgina, played by Fern Deacon, added inspiring flavors to the otherwise tasteless screenplay. Also, the mise-en-scène, or in this case the mise-en-scènes of the movie, were set up to evoke certain staging format. Warm tones to show happier side of life, and cold tones and atmosphere to show fear, disdain, loss and anger. Even though the use of magic hour and anti-light flare to the camera were overtly used during the first half of the movie, I commend the director Ashley Avis for keeping it consistent throughout the movie. In this episode, I have picked out very little good things from this movie, and I'm going to rate the 2020 Black Beauty with only 2 stars. But yet, I still have the worst for the last. The overuse of narration, the apathetic second protagonist, and detached main protagonist were already the point jerkers, but the pacing of the movie comes as a major blow. The 2 halves of the movie are heavily misbalanced. While the first half is slow and takes time to develop and grow, the second half, which should actually bring in the crisis, the evolving nature of the character, the closing in of the guys, and the final boom, everything feels like rushed and packed, as if the director, who is also the writer herself, felt tired and lazy as she finished the project. This will be a blemish in Ashley Avis' writing career. She could have done much better. For more reviews, follow my Instagram page. The handle is here _movieit. And also subscribe to the channel and like the video for more reviews in the days to come. Thank you very much.